nothing is true, everything is permitted. Welcome everyone to the J&J Gaming Assassin's Creed Valhalla review. And man, I am so excited to talk about this game. I'm so excited to just talk your ear off. I have been playing this game for so long. And man, I'm just ready to tear this game apart. And you know, well, having played every Assassin's Creed game on PlayStation and on PC, you can say that I'm, well, very well suited for this review. And you might think that me being an Assassin's Creed diehard, well, you know, owning every game on PC and PlayStation, well, yeah, I'm a diehard. I'm gonna defend this game, you know? I'm gonna, this game is my game of the year. I don't care what, Cyberpunk who, what, Red Dead what, I don't care what came out. This game is my game of the year. You might be thinking that, but you're dead wrong. Now, jokes aside, I will be comparing and contrasting Assassin's Creed Valhalla with the past two Assassin's Creed games, mainly because they all focus on mythology and they all are based on the same game engine that Ubisoft created for Origins that is also used in Odyssey and in Valhalla as well. So, I hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get into it! First and foremost, oh my gosh, this game is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I have yet to find an Assassin's Creed game that looks as good as this. I know you're going to be making the assumption of like, oh my gosh, of course it's going to be looking good. It's one of the newest ones. Yeah, but Assassin's Creed Unity came out in 2014. And my gosh, that game on max settings on PC, it still rivals one of the best looking games up to date. And that was Odyssey before this game came out. But woo! Valhalla, they absolutely killed it. They completely reworked the engine that it was built in. The lighting, the detail, the colors. Oh my god. I was playing this game on my PS5 without HDR turned on to capture this gameplay footage, and you can clearly see how much work they put into this. Cause my gosh, Ubisoft had more than 10 studios working on this game, and you can tell that the studio that was in charge of the graphical engine, that was in charge of just putting in the amount of detail into just how beautiful this game looks, you can tell that they just went all out. Now, let's compare and contrast how this game looks with its predecessor, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then Assassin's Creed Origins. And then you guys will see how much better this game looks. I really hope you guys can tell the difference, because the difference is completely noticeable. I mean, look at Origins. Origins before this game was my favorite one. And I just could not stop staring at how beautiful the world looked. And then if you look at Odyssey and Origins put together, you can clearly see how much copy and paste Ubisoft used for both games. I know both games came out about a year apart, and so Ubisoft is very known for their copy and pasting for their map design and combat as well, and animations and a whole bunch of other stuff. But Valhalla, compared to these two games, it's kind of in its own category because Ubisoft clearly stepped it up. Now, I know a lot of you guys are very skeptical and critical about Ubisoft's open world games. You guys might be thinking, yeah, it's an open world game, but Ubisoft loves to make bland open world games. A lot of copy and paste, a lot of stupid missions that are bland and boring and blah. I'm a boring person that doesn't like good games. But lo and behold, I have some news for you. This game has good map design. They did it. They actually did it. They made a map that's not just copy and paste. Honestly, I think really it's because they didn't really have much to copy and paste, and that's kind of what Ubisoft does. But I'm actually glad that they actually didn't do it with this game, you know? Because usually it's those games that come in about a year apart that they love to copy and paste. But this game right here, it took more than that. I mean, let's be honest. When was the last time you just rode through a map of a video game and you thought, this game is beautiful? The amount of detail they put into this game? Wow, these developers really love their project. Honestly, that's how I felt with this game. There was just times where I just rode on my horse and I just, wherever I had to go, whatever destination, I legit just rode there. I didn't fast travel or anything. This game has fast traveling, but honestly, I would rather go to my destination on horse because it is that beautiful. And it's like those type of games where, you know, you can miss these certain details or these certain missions or whatever if you just go past it. But my goodness, the amount of detail they put into this game. It is way out of its league compared to Odyssey and Origins. I mean, come on. Origins is 80% sand, and Odyssey is just copy and pasting the same temples all over the map, and it just felt like one giant hill. Like, come on, man. You can say that, yeah, Ubisoft has been lazy with Odyssey and Origins, but with Valhalla, they stepped it up. They stepped it up. They said they were going to step it up with Valhalla, and man, they delivered. At the beginning of Valhalla, you are given the option to change how difficult you want the exploration and gameplay. That is a step up from what Origins did. And Odyssey touched upon it a little bit, but it didn't really give me the full immersion that I wanted, and that's what Valhalla did. This makes the game more appealing, and it also makes it harder to find stuff unless you walk around and find it yourself. It also makes it harder for your bird to find targets up in the air. A lot of the times in Origin and in Odyssey as well, you can use your bird. It's either an eagle or in this game now in Valhalla, it's a raven, but you can also customize it and change it too, which is awesome. But you can use your bird to find targets up from the sky. So your bird will literally highlight everything for you, including treasures that we're hitting around. And that kind of makes it, like the game's holding your hand for you. Because it's like, hey, I want to find this stuff for myself. I'm a big boy. I don't want to be in the kids section now. I want to sit in the grown-ups table now. So right there you can tell that Valhalla is really giving the players more options on how to do things. But not just that, the map layout completely is different in this game. So right here I'm going to show you guys a few comparisons from Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla to see how much the map differs from each game. So right there you can kind of see how Odyssey had a pretty good map design, I'm not going to lie. The map was really big, but it was also centered in just one place. While Origins kind of just had the map in just one giant circle, but it kind of was just all sand and it was just bland. I don't like the map design in Origins at all. I think it's really bad. But in Valhalla, they completely improve upon it. It's a completely different game. They improve upon it a lot. They kind of make it linear, so where you can see it from top to bottom perfectly. And then when you go into other areas as well, it's also a pretty good way to find things that you're missing, with it labeled yellow for the gold, blue for missions, and then white for artifacts that you're trying to find around the map, making it really easy for you to find things. Ubisoft had more than 10 studios working on this, and it really shows. It really shows. From Origins to Odyssey, you can honestly tell how similar they were when it comes to fighting. Different types of animations, graphical differences. It's almost like if Ubisoft's typical copy and paste type game was going to come again with Valhalla, it was just going to be another copy from Odyssey. But no, with this game, it's a complete 180, and trust me, it is a complete 180. I am not lying on that. Fighting actually feels like a fighting game. It's not just something that is, completely focused on. It's actually something that's improved upon. And almost every Assassin's Creed game, it almost feels like they're just changing up the fighting too much. And with one game, they actually perfected it, while in the next one, they completely throw it off and they make it really bad. While in the next one, they make it good. But then the next one again, they make it terrible. And it's just like, why? It's like, why? If you look at Origins when you're fighting, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not that bad. You know, you seem pretty free with your movement. You can lock on a person for the first time in an Assassin's Creed game. But then what's weird is that when you start fighting them and you try to do your finisher, of course there's level variations with these games now because it's a stupid RPG. But when you try to go over there and attack the person and you're doing a weird finisher like how I'm doing here with my double knives, you just stabbing the guy like 20 times. And guess what? The guy comes up perfectly fine. Oh, and also guess what? That barely took off any health. Are you kidding me? That makes no sense. And Odyssey is the worst at this. Okay. First and foremost, I hate Odyssey. I hate that game. To me, Odyssey is the worst Assassin's Creed game to date. It is terrible. Terrible mission design. Terrible fighting. Terrible stealth. The game has nothing to do with assassins, and by some godly reason, Ubisoft decided to put Assassin's Creed on it. I would have been completely happy if they called that game Gods and Monsters, because the same people that made Phoenix Rising made this game. So why not call that game Gods and Monsters? Oh my god, I hate that game. Valhalla completely redid the fighting. Again, they did not copy and paste. Thank God. The fighting actually feels better. You know, you want this fighting to be better. It's a Viking game. You want it to be brutal. It was brutal. And there's still some animations I have yet to see because I have not seen them all. Because there's still a lot of weapons that I have to unlock still. But wow, it is crazy good. The best thing that Valhalla did when it comes to combat is their weapon system. Wow, their weapon system is awesome. You can dual wield multiple weapons. Let's say that I want to have a shield in one hand and then I want to have a sword in the other. Yeah, you can do that. But what about an axe and a sword? Yeah, you can do that too. What about a flail and a flail? Yeah, you can do that. What about double shield? Yeah, you can do that too. Like, this is the first game that you were able to have customization options when it comes to your fighting style. So if you want, you can have a sword in the right hand and an axe in the left. Why would you do that? I don't know, but it's up to you. For me personally, I love to use a double axe because that to me feels perfect. I really love this system because it gives you freedom to do whatever you want. It gives you a choice to play however you want. Well, hey, you want to play like this? Awesome. You want to play like that? Awesome. You want to dual wield 2 shields? Go for it, man. You can be well protected on whatever side, and then you can just attack with shields. It's awesome. Honestly, never thought I'd see that in an Assassin's Creed game, and lo and behold. But of course, gameplay comparison for the combat. Oh my god. You guys tell me which one you think is best. I still can't get over the fact that Ubisoft really thought that it was a good idea to put that type of combat system in Odyssey or Origins. Like, it makes zero sense that you're going to be stabbing a guy that many times and he does not die. Or that it barely takes away any health. That's the problem with the RPG system, especially in Assassin's Creed, because that has no place in a stealth assassin game. Aside from all that, all the changes that they made, the 3 big changes that I can say that made this game better overall than the other 2 is the mission design, the loot system, and the stealth. My god, the stealth. Straight off the bat, I kind of feel like the Assassin's Creed missions have always been kind of linear. You know, it tells you to go to A or to go to B, trail this guy, do this, do that. But honestly, this game, it gives you freedom to do it. It gives you freedom. And well, this actually started off with Odyssey. Yeah, I hate Odyssey, but it actually started doing something right. They introduced a new system where you have to find clues to try to find your target and kill them. I think that's actually pretty cool. You know, where to find the whereabouts in order to kill him or her, because, you know, target's male or female. And they actually expanded upon this in Valhalla. You know, giving more freedom to me to find my targets and kill them however I want. You know, I don't have to chase them down to stealth assassinate them, or I don't have to kill them, you know, with combat or whatever. In this game, giving you more freedom with that. And honestly, I think that's actually really smart. But if I'm being real here, I would love an Assassin's Creed game where all you had was these targets to kill, and then they just tell you, go out there and find them. I think that would be really good, and honestly, I think that would be the perfect Assassin's Creed game. It doesn't emphasize so much on combat, but emphasizes more on stuff. But that's just me daydreaming. I know they're never going to do that.